Welcome to Official History World, where history comes alive. Explore the events, empires, and people that shaped our world. Subscribe and be part of our journey through time.
Premium Forever Love necklace to my beautiful love. Buy this necklace, click my YouTube video description product link, and shop now.
Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about Operation Sonnenblume and the effects that it had on World War II. Operation Sonnenblume was also known as Operation Sunflower in English, and it was a military campaign during World War II conducted by the German army in North Africa. It was part of the North African campaign, which was primarily fought between the Axis powers led by Germany and Italy and the Allied powers represented by British. The operation began in February of 1941 when the German High Command decided to send a contingent of troops to North Africa to support their Italian allies who were facing difficulties in their war against the British forces in Libya. The German troops, under the command of General Erwin Rommel, were sent to bolster the Italian forces and prevent the collapse of the North African front. Rommel's aggressive tactics earned him the nickname Desert Fox, and his leadership of his troops in North Africa was instrumental in turning the tide back to their favor. Rommel's forces launched a series of successful offensives, pushing the British and Commonwealth forces back. This marked the beginning of a seesaw battle in North Africa, where both sides would gain and then lose ground over the course of the war. Operation Sonnenblume was significant as it established a foothold for the Germans in North Africa, and it set the stage for the larger North African campaign. The campaign in North Africa continued for several years, with both sides receiving reinforcements and additional resources. Rommel's leadership and the battles fought during Operation Sonnenblume and subsequent campaigns in North Africa contributed to his reputation as one of Germany's most talented and respected military commanders during World War II. This then led to Operation Compass, which was the British Western Desert Force attacking the 10th Army in Western Egypt, the eastern province of Libya, from December 1940 to February of 1941. The WWII, with about 30,000 men, advanced from Egypt for a 5-day raid against the 10th Army. The Italian force had about 150,000 men in fortified posts, and further west over the border, the 10th Army was swiftly defeated, and they were recaptured, and the British continued the operation, attacking through to capture Bardia, Tobruk, and Dima. The British then pursued the 10th Army toward the western province of Tripolitania. The WF then chased the remnants of the 10th Army to the Gulf of Sidra, and the British captured 138,000 Italian and Libyan prisoners, hundreds of tanks, and over 1,000 guns and aircraft, while suffering only 1,900 casualties, killed or wounded. The British were unable to continue beyond due to supply difficulty and worn-out vehicles. In February of 1941, the British War Cabinet decided to hold with the minimum of forces and send the remainder to Greece. The most experienced, best trained, and best equipped units of the WDF were diverted to the Greek campaign in March and April of 1941. The terrain played a huge role in Operation Sonnenblume and Operation Compass. The war was fought primarily in the Western Desert, which was about 240 miles wide, from Mersa in Egypt on the Libyan coast to the only paved road. The Sand Sea inland marked the southern limit of the desert at its widest. From the coast extending south lies a raised flat plain of stony desert about 500 feet above sea level. From north to south as far as the Sand Sea, scorpions, vipers, and flies populated the region, which was inhabited by a small number of nomads. Bedouin tracks linked wells and easier traversed ground. Navigation was by the sun, stars, compasses, and desert sense. Good perception of the environment gained by experience, and when Italian troops advanced into Egypt in September of 1940, they had to be found by aircraft. In spring and summer, the days were hot and the nights were very cold. A hot desert wind that blows clouds of fine sand, which reduced the visibility to a few yards, and coated the eyes, the lungs, machinery, food, and equipment with sand. Motor vehicles and aircraft needed special oil filters, and in such barren country, supplies for military operation had to be transported from outside. German engines tended to overheat, and tank engines' life fell from 1,400 to 1,600 miles to only